Here we have the letter Ein. The letter Ein. This one is sometimes going to be some work. This letter is a guttural sound. It's almost like a hiccup in the middle of the sound of the word. You know, you see, even the word Arabic is not Arabic. It's Arabic. It's Arabi. It's a Ein at the beginning of that word. You know, Surah Asr. It's not wal Asr. It's wal Asr. The Ein wal Asr. So there are words that have the Ein in them. Like you say, when you say yes, you don't say nam. There's an ayin in the middle of that word. You say nam, nam, nam. There's an ayin in the middle of that. So this ayin is pronounced, and even the word ayin is eye, like the eyeball, ayin. Anyway, so the letter ayin on the right, and the letter rain on the left. Now you see here this whole hook, this whole bottom part right here under the ayin, and this whole bottom part right here under the rain. These get dropped. When these are connected to a word at the beginning of a word, just this part right here goes straight across to the next letter. All of this down here is gone. Straight across to the next letter. Straight across to the next letter. And that's only at the beginning of a word. It looks even a little different in the middle of a word, and we'll show you that when we do the letters in the beginning, middle, and end of the word. Okay, so this is a family. Ayin and Layin. So all you have to remember about these two is the difference between which one has a dot and which one doesn't. All right, here's the letter. Now, these two letters that I'm getting ready to show you now, they're not realistically a family. After Ayin and Gayin, we've basically officially finished all of the letters that are in a family. But these two letters look a little similar, so we're presenting it because people sometimes get them mixed up, and they fall right behind each other. So we have the letter Fa, as in Fatiha, and the letter Qaf, as in Qira'ah, to read or recite, or the Quran, right? Or Quran. That's the Qaf. Look at these letters carefully. Now, individually, when they're by themselves as initials or the end of a word, this is how they look. The Fa looks like a long straight line coming out with a hook, and the Qaf is kind of like circular. But when they're inside of a word, sometimes all you see in the word is a circle and a dot or two dots on it. So it's important to know when you see a circle in the middle of the word with a dot on it, that's your Fa. And when you see a circle in the middle of a word with two dots on it, that's your Qaf. The only time that there will be anything other than that is if you have an ayin. So inshallah, what we're going to show you, if you have an ayin in the middle of a word, or ghayin in the middle of a word, because of its shape, but it will always be blackened out. It always have a different form, like a diamond. It'll be blackened out, and you'll know that it's ayin or ghayin because it won't have the circular hole in it, inshallah. Okay, so after Qaf, we have the regular kaf, the K sound, right? Like in kitab. Okay. Okay. Now, not khutbah, because the word is actually khutbah with the letter ha, the khutbah. Okay. So this is kaf, like kitab, etc. Okay. And the letter that I'm going to show you with it is not, again, in the same family with it, but sometimes people get them mixed up because of this form here. You see the kaf, when it's by itself, takes this form, goes straight across like that. It's a straight line. Okay, this is how the letter looks when it's by itself as an initial. It has a little Z type of image in it, right? Or an S. I'm saying it backwards, huh? Anyway, this image here is what's inside of it when it's by itself. And this is lam, not to be mistaken for calf. See, sometimes we get these mistaken, but the way you know calf, if you see all of this of a calf, then you know that it's calf because this will be in there. Okay, with this letter, when you see all of this, you know it looks like a J, right? When you look at this letter, this is lam, and it has a curve to it. It's not straight across like calf. So if you look at them together, you can distinguish and see how you can avoid mixing the two of them up. If calf is in a word, like at the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word, this little piece here in the center becomes big like this. It comes across like that, and this is gone. Only this represents calf when it's at the beginning of a word or middle of a word. The only time you see calf like this, with the piece in it, inside of a word, is when it's at the very end. Okay, so it's when you get those rules and ideas in mind, confusing it or having any issues with kaf and lam, it'll go away quick. So then lam is our equivalent to the letter L, right? You say la, right, etc. Lam, okay. Then we have the rest of the letters. They don't have any resemblance to each other. There are no families. So we have the letter meme. We have the letter meme for M in English, right? Like masjid, okay? We have the letter noon. Like I told you, the letter noon, you see it looks kind of like the family for the bad ta and fa because it has the cup shape here and a dot on the top. Ba is a little wider open and it has a dot on the bottom. But the thing is, when any of these letters are at the beginning of a word or the middle of a word, they're nothing but a notch. And all you have to know is if that notch has one dot over it, it's a noon. That notch has one dot under it, it's a ba. That notch has two dots over it, it's a ta. And if that notch has three dots over it, it's tha. Like that. And also, even the letter ya, if the notch has two dots under it, it's actually the letter ya. And we'll come back now. So we have the letter ha. This is the letter ha that's on the end of words like Allah, etc. But at the beginning of the word, this is how it looks. When we say qul, huwa Allah, huwa. That word huwa starts with this H, this ha, not the strong H like in rahma. It's with this H, huwa, okay? And in huwa, this letter is followed by that letter waw, huwa. So the waw is equivalent of our English letter W. Like we say wa for and, or we say wa as when we're taking the oath, like we say walasa, wa. Okay? So that's the letter waw. With the fatha on it is wa. Okay? Then finally, the last letter of the alphabet, the letter ya. And you see here, it has two dots under it. This letter ya, when it's in the beginning of a word or the end of a word, all of that shape that looks like a little snake or whatever, all that goes away and there's nothing but a notch. The same way it is for ba. So you may have a notch and has one dot under it, and you basically know that notch is a ba. If the notch has two dots under it, you know it's a ya. It gets easier because a lot of it, all you have to remember is look at the shape of what you're dealing with, and if it has a dot or not, and it'll start flowing for you, inshallah. May Allah make that the case and grant us ease with working on this. I mean.